Baby, you're my coat. She got me feeling like a dope fiend. I'm addicted to a black queen, baby, you're my coat.
Hi, welcome back to Love Life After. I'm Christelle.
I'm Chan.
And this is Kisa. We have Kisa on today, Kisa the Healer. I'm going to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Kisa The Healer. Nice to meet everybody. I'm glad I could be here.
We're glad you're here.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for coming. It. Okay, so we have this new thing now that we're doing. If you listened to our podcast before, I guess you can kind of know we just kind of dives in. Mm-hmm. But now with this new season, we're doing segments. Because people are like, okay, so can you give us a little bit more? So we're gonna do love segment, life segment, and then after segment.
Okay.
So today, right now, before we get started, how you guys doing?
I'm good.
I'm great. Thank you.
I'm stressed.
Stressed?
No way.
Don't be stressed.
Yes, I am stressed. I'm stressed with husband, kids. My husband is stressing me out. But I'm so serious.
We'll talk about that in a life segment.
Right. Oh, God. Okay. So, y'all want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, let's start. Brittany, she's going to call in a few minutes, and she's normally the one that gets us jump started and tells us that let's get
started.
Let's get into it. Well, we don't even know what I can't even do it right.
Say, hold on. Let me try it. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
See, we can't even say it right.
Brittany, we're missing you, but I'm sure you're going to call us soon.
She can't be here because she has family, stuff to do.
Yeah.
But she'll call in shortly. We miss her. Yeah. Okay. So
starting with the love segment, we want to hear from you, Kisa the Healer. Tell us about your life in love.
My life in love. Well, I guess for the earlier part of my life, I would say that it was pretty, can you say shitty?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it was pretty shitty. Because, dealing with trauma as a child and going through the things I went through as a child, put me into this mental mode of love me. Me and my mom didn't have a great relationship because I look like my father. So, she really wasn't hugging on me and kissing on me.
Was she a single mother?
Yeah, she was a single mother. And, I had my stepdad there. When I was younger, I thought it was my dad. Like, I met my actual dad at 5. Okay. So I didn't even know he existed. I thought somebody else was my father at the time. So not getting love from my mom, and growing up, I think that it really, really made me overdo it and overgive in friendships and relationships just so people would love me, because I didn't have the courage because of my trauma to love myself. Right. So, when you don't love yourself, you
lose yourself.
Yeah. You lose yourself. Mm-hmm. And I had lost myself for many, many years, wondering why my relationships weren't working out, and wondering why, after I put everything I had into it, why I was not seeing any results.
Right.
Why I kept going through the same thing, questioning my sanity. Like, am I like going crazy? Like,
I know the feeling.
It's like I put so much into this relationship. I've done this, I've done that. Treating him like a king. I've, whatever, and it's just still like you're not good enough. Mm-hmm. And so I started blaming the other person. Where at the end of the day, I needed to blame myself.
I don't think you needed to blame yourself.
I need
Why do you think that?
Because you know, if I don't love who I am, right, then there is no way that I can expect another person
to love you,
to love me, because now I'm attracting my mirror.
Just
And
like RuPaul says, if you don't love yourself,
how's anybody else gonna love you?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's your mirror. You will always date your mirror.
True.
And if you're hurt,
I never thought about it like that. You'll date your mirror.
You'll date your mirror, because hurt people hurt people.
True.
Just in different ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you might be insecure because of your childhood, and you're like, you know, don't touch me, or you looking at this person, or you doing this, or we were real vocal, you know, because we're insecure, you know, and then that's pushing the other person away, because we're hurting them, because they see us completely different than we see ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then it's like causing friction. It's like, I love you. Like, I'm not looking at anybody else. And it's like, no, yes, you are. But that's coming from the inside. That's not the other person's fault.
Right.
It's not the other person's fault that they feel in a certain type of way because they see our beauty and we don't. So what we do with our emotion is we start to overtake the situation with how we feel. And so our situation goes from being, you know, something that could blossom, and it turns completely full of things that makes us more insecure.
Or you sabotage it.
Yeah. I mean, we do it to ourselves. I've been guilty of that.
I do it all the time.
And when you don't have self-confidence, and when you've been hurt and you've gone through things that you aren't ready to face yet, then that's exactly what you're going to receive. So it was my fault. Because I couldn't see myself. I couldn't love myself. I didn't know my worth.
I mean, I understand that, but I still don't think it's your fault. You didn't know, so it's not your fault.
No, I knew. You know, I feel like women.
You did?
Yeah.
So
Because
you get those
doing it. You get those red flags. You get those. We are highly intuitive. Women are highly intuitive.
True.
We get that ding.
Hey, we have Brittany. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but we have Brittany. Hello.
Hey, Brittany.
Hey, girl.
Kisa sharing with us about her love.
Checking in with y'all. How everybody doing?
We're good.
Yeah.
We missed you.
Yeah, we couldn't even get it started. We were like, what did Brittany say when we get it started?
Let's get into it. You gotta
get
say
into
it.
Let's jump into it.
Yeah, that's what I say. What I say? Damn, what do I say? Let's get into it.
Yes.
Get into it.
Yes, Kisa sharing with us about her love, like how, you know, her relationship with love, how it all started. And it all started with, you know, her relationship with her mother. So I think that was pretty big. Yeah.
So listen out. Go ahead, Keisha, finish.
But yeah, I feel like as women and being as intuitive as we are, you know, because if we feel a niche about anything, I mean, we're better than the FBI, the CIA. You know what I mean? They ain't got nothing on a woman who want to know.
Right.
So when we get those clues and those inner gut feelings like something ain't right, we ignore those things because we're thinking, oh, I'm just overthinking.
Right.
But if we listen to ourselves and what we feel first, then we wouldn't have been in this situation anyway because we got those red flags.
True.
They were always there, but we deny that. You know, I have to be honest with myself. I dealt with the stuff I dealt with. You know, infidelity, you know what I mean, physical abuse, you know, belittling, just the verbal, just when a person just tries to be in control of you. You know, I've dealt with those things, but I allowed that to happen. Because many a times I said in certain situations, you know, I'd be talking with girlfriends and I'm like, I'm tired of this shit. Like, I'm not going through it no more. I'm not dealing with it no more. And then, you go home and have a halfway decent conversation and it's like, oh, okay, we good.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Or, or you make some good love and it's like, oh, okay, we good.
Yeah.
But that pain is still there. And if you're in a situation or a relationship where the other person isn't listening to you because you're not listening to yourself,
right,
right? We get upset. Why isn't he listening to me? Are you listening to yourself?
What did I do wrong?
Right? Are you following the clues? Are you following the intuitions and the hunches that you're getting, or are you ignoring them?
Yeah.
You're being treated how you're treating yourself.
Right.
True.
Point blank and simple.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
You're being treated how you treated yourself.
Yeah,
that
that goes back to the self-love.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mhm.
Because if you don't love your, like she was saying, if you don't love yourself, then no one else is gonna love you.
Nah.
Exactly.
You can't.
Exactly.
Right, and that was, one of the main thing we talked about from the beginning about, just showing yourself. You have to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, what's the point of living? Like, no one else is gonna love you.
No one's gonna love you. You gotta let that trauma go. Let go of a lot of things happen to Black women. I mean, when I was younger, I was molested. I was raped when I was 4 years old. You know what I mean? I remember everything. It took me until I was 13 to even say anything about it because of fear.
Wow.
Right.
So a lot of us Black women deal with these things that we're holding on to and we're not speaking about because we just don't even want to bring that emotion back up.
Right.
And we're going into
relationships.
Yeah.
We be ashamed too. That's what it is.
Right.
We be ashamed.
And that's deep rooted. So now you're going into a relationship
with that baggage,
with a deep rooted ass issue
right,
that you haven't dealt with, expecting for the next person to heal you. You can't do that. You gotta open that box up and you gotta let that go.
Right.
That's right.
And that was my lesson. That was my
Yeah.
lesson. I went through everything I went through because I allowed it. I wasn't ready to graduate yet.
Right.
I had to sit in that class until I got it. You know what I'm saying? I had to get banged up across the head a couple of times and a couple of hands around the neck a couple of times and you ain't shit and the fuck yous and all this type of stuff. The verbal abuse. I had to continuously deal with that until I said, no, you're not going to do that no more.
So how do you transition from that into listening to yourself? It's hard, but how do you?
Well, see, the thing is, and I refer to God as universe. I mean, to me, it's the same thing. But what happens is that you'll have to go through the same thing over and over again. Like, you have to literally, have a death, okay? Where something dramatic happens.
Mm-hmm.
You're left in order for you to snap out of it.
Right. Wow.
Because when you're in relationships, when people are controlling your mind, you cannot see clearly. If you're not showing yourself self-love and meditating and praying and doing yoga and kind of, getting yourself and your thoughts together, then you get sucked right in.
Right.
A lot of people are dating narcissists. I've dated a narcissist. The people who have gone through all this trauma when they were a child, right? I went through trauma when I was a child, so we perfect matches. And it's like one blow after the other, back and forth, expecting each other to heal each other when we haven't healed ourselves. It's a never-ending cycle. That's what I learned about love. And I learned to love myself in the meantime. I found myself on the ground. You know what I mean? Life flashing before my eyes, like looking at the person that I loved in the face as anger and hatred and just, vile came from the person that I loved. And once that person got up, and I laid down there for a little bit, the bitch that got up was a different person.
Right.
The one that was on the ground died.
Right.
She died that day. I left a situation that I was in for a very long time.
Right.
That I have a child. My child was connected to that person. While you know what I mean, my child's father wasn't in her life. I yanked her from something that she was comfortable with because I chose me.
Amen. Sometimes you gotta choose yourself.
You know what I'm saying? People
Not
stay in
sometimes, but all the
relationships.
time.
People stay in relationships because of the kids.
Yeah, I
Like-
think that's crazy.
Yep.
I think that's real crazy. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm not them.
Right. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't. You don't know how their situation is. You know what I mean? So you can't
No.
like judge them. But sometimes you just like thinking, man, like why are they in that?
Yeah,
And
Like,
sometimes they doing more trauma to the kids by
right.
staying in that situation
Yeah.
than
Right.
to remove
Absolutely.
themselves.
Absolutely. It's generational. It's generational.
Yo, I'm hungry.
It's something that you've seen. You know what I mean? If your mom got banged up upside the head when she was, when you was coming up, then that's what you gonna deal with because she ain't
Yeah,
gonna
you think it's normal. You think it's normal behavior for physical, mental, and verbal abuse because if you seen that dysfunction as a child, you think it's normalized. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I see my mom go through this. So
I
it
can
must
deal
be
with that.
This must be okay, and
I'm
it's
strong
not.
enough.
It's not okay.
It's
It's
not
not
okay.
okay at all.
No, it's not okay.
At all.
You know. But with all of that being said, I look back and the things I dealt with in my relationship and in my relationships, these were lessons in my life that I'm so thankful for.
Right.
Because if these things hadn't happened and I hadn't been faced with these obstacles, I would not be happy right now. I would not be living my best life right now.
Right.
I wouldn't have met my twin flame, the one like my person, like you chose yourself, bitch. Here you go. You know what I mean? It's scary. It's scary choosing yourself. What am I going to do without him? What am I going to do? I'm not going to be able to survive. I can't do this. My kid's close to him. Leave that nigga.
Leave.
Right. Whatever ain't for you, sis, leave it.
Leave
Right.
it. Because you don't know.
Better choose yourself first. You always got to choose yourself first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to. Women don't really look and see who they are. We are the creators of life. We make it possible for souls to enter this planet.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And if you ain't gonna
For
respect
real, like,
that,
I never even thought about it.
If you ain't gonna respect that, then you ain't got nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
You know?
For real.
Yeah, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what love is. Because if you don't love yourself, then it's done.
How you get to love yourself, okay? So I'll talk about just a quick journey real quick. So one of my clients was a Buddhist or is a Buddhist. Her name is Norma. Remember Miss Norma?
I do her sister's hair.
Mm-hmm.
Did she tell you? Miss Janice. Not Paula. I used to do Miss Paulette's hair.
Oh, okay.
But then she stopped coming because she said she tried to go to you or something. But then now Miss Janice, which is Miss Norma's sister, she comes to me.
Okay. Yes.
That's crazy.
Miss Norma.
Yeah.
So she would always come in the shop and she'd just be like, I'd be talking to her about my issues and stuff because I felt like she was my soul mother. And she's like, you need to chant, told me about Buddhism and, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. We all seen What's Love Got to Do with it with Tina Turner. If you don't know what it is, then just Google it, YouTube it, you know what I'm saying? It's something that causes you to silence yourself.
Right.
Silence your thoughts, So I became Buddhist.
You did? How did you do that?
I became Buddhist. I went to the temple. See, I'm not really like a sit in the temple, like gather around for about an hour. Like that's not me. Like I've tried it. Like I just can't. You know what I mean? But anyway.
Okay.
They basically you go to the Buddhist temple and they kind of like welcome you and you get this gohonzon and it's like
what is gohonzon?
A gohonzon is instead of putting a picture on who Jesus is or who people whatever deity that people serve, it's like it represents the mirror. It represents your life. Right. Okay. So that when you chant or when you pray for your own happiness in your life and the ability to maintain balance in the obstacles, right? As well as in the good. So I mean, in chanting and Nam Myoho Renge Kyo had really it started to center me. It started to center me, and I changed my diet. I became vegetarian, and I was chanting and I was doing positive affirmations in the car. I'll never forget. I would go to YouTube. I would type in positive affirmations. I'd be in the car. You are great. You are beautiful. You are happy. Like I was trying to like reprogram my mind from what it was that I was going through. And this was like before the breakup. This was happening, and I was starting to see me for who I really was. And Buddhism helped me do that. However, with Buddhism, that kind of opened me up on like a whole nother spiritual journey. So it's not that I don't, claim like Buddhism as being a part of me, but I utilize that as a tool. You know what I mean? Because it's so much bigger. It's so much more vast. It's not controlled, But that helped me. And if I wasn't on the path of self-discovery, I wouldn't have been able to leave. If I wasn't learning how to love myself, changing the things that I put inside of my body, like taking care of myself, loving on myself, like I would have still been there. I might not even be here. I could be dead. Like, who knows?
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah, because you fell off the face of the earth. I said, where is Kisa? I messaged her phone number don't change. Her messages, she don't be on Facebook.
I had to
I'm
turn
like,
inward.
okay, where is Kisa? I messaged her like so many times. No response. I said, okay, maybe,
I had to
she'll
turn
come around
inward.
when she wants to.
I had to turn inward, yo. Like, I had to go through the worst. I had to die because I wasn't getting it. You know what I mean? It's like, God, universe, however you want to put it, keep showing you something over and over and over again, yo. And you just keep saying, no, I don't even want to see what you're trying to teach me. I just want to do what I want to do until it ultimately gets to the worst and forces you to make a decision.
Yep.
Right. And if it has to hurt somebody along the way, okay, let it be, because you're trying to love yourself.
Yeah, you have to go through these things. You know what I mean? People on the spiritual journey and all that, like this, it's not cute.
No,
it hurts. It hurts. But at the same time, there's so much beauty in loving yourself, because then you understand your power. Right. Then you start to manifest the things in your life that you want and not what you don't want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people go, oh, I don't want a dude that's going to cheat on me. I don't want no dude that's not loyal. I don't want a dude that ain't going to do this. Like, you basically putting it out there that that's what you want.
Right. I was just going to say that, because that's what you want.
You know, I will have a man that will treat me better.
Right.
I will have a man that loves me like I love him. I am going to have that. Not I want.
So you believe in positive thinking?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
Yeah.
Me too.
Because positive, it's very powerful though.
Your mind.
You speak. Like, I was talking to a friend just yesterday, and he was just telling me about stop, because I would say, oh, you're crazy, like this is crazy, or he's like, no, it's not crazy, it's because you making it crazy. Like, stop saying all these negative stuff. And I'm like, I'm just saying it. It's not, that's it. He's like, no, don't say that. Like, I'll be like, oh man, that's no, it doesn't. You're making it suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
so I was like, oh my God, stop saying that.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta speak whatever you speak into the universe. It gotta be positive.
It gotta be positive.
It has to be
positive. It can't
like
be
when
I
you open
can't.
your
It's gotta be I will.
It has to be.
You need to speak life into yourself.
It has to be. It has to be. It's just the ego. It's the ego. It's your shadow self trying to protect you. You know what I mean? But you have to let it know, like, it's okay. Like, I don't need your protection. Like, I want this to manifest in my life, and you have to believe that. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to know that it's yours, because you have such vast support. Because once you start aligning yourself, to the things that you want, like if you want $1 million, right? If this is people's goal in life.
I definitely want $1 million.
I want that.
Think about it, right? Think about it. You want $1 million, right? Or you want $1 million home, right? And it's your dream. Like, have you been to Parade of Homes, to the $1 million houses, and walked in those bedrooms and looked in the basement and saw how beautiful it was and touched the walls and actually took it in? because you can't get what you can't perceive.
True.
Right.
If you've never held $1 million in your hand or seen that behind a bank account, you know what I'm saying? And you're not going in the direction of your dream, like that probably not gonna happen for you.
Right.
You have to know that it's yours. Like it's like no doubt can come in your mind. Like I don't know, man. Like
I'm gonna get
I
$1
feel
million.
you because it's so funny because like growing up, I remember being like in like maybe the 3rd grade or something, and I did a school project where I had to draw and stuff, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, that looks so great! Like you should be an artist." And it was like an NC State thing, and everybody's like, "Why'd you choose NC State?" And I was like, "Because that's the college I want to go to." And that was the only reason why I wanted to go there is because I'm like, I love to be different. Everybody's always Carolina fans. Even though they didn't never go to Carolina, but everybody a Carolina fan.
Right.
And so I was like, I want to be different. And so I was like, I'm going to go to NC State. And that's actually where I went and graduated from.
okay,
So,
that's what's up.
but I did that like when I was in like elementary, not even knowing how I would get there.
Right.
I didn't
You
even know
wanted to.
what they did at NC State,
Right.
but it was just a thought that I had when I was little, and I was just like, this is what I'm going to do. Even as a senior in high school, I still didn't know that I was actually going to go to NC State.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
speak into existence.
Speaking into existence. Especially with our children. Like this generation of children are crazy, man. Like I don't know. Like I mean, my daughter's off the chain. I love her to death, but she off the chain. It's like she mad she in a kid body. Like she want to be an adult right now. Like,
oh man,
and it's very, very challenging for me. It's challenging, but we do have to put into their minds the things that is positive for them.
Do you think she's seen some of your struggles?
I'm sure she has.
And do you think that could probably impact her as to why she acts?
Absolutely.
Really?
I mean, absolutely. But she's just always been off the chain. Even before that, you know what I mean? Like, when you getting phone calls in daycare, like, can you please come here? Like, she just ran over a baby with the toy car.
What?
Like, I'm like, really?
What?
Yes, off the chain. Like, I don't know. You're just new age kids, man. It's new age kids. But I started doing positive affirmations for her. I would put her in front of the mirror, and I would, just say, repeat after me. And, I am great. And have her look in the mirror. I am great. I am wonderful. I am wonderful. I am happy. I am, because, I mean, as long as you keep feeding them those positive affirmations, it'll help them on their journey.
Yeah.
That was,
doing that with my baby.
Yeah, that was just kind of like a long, drawn out story to get to that. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, let's transition into life. Like, how long have you been a Buddhist now? Or do you still practice Buddhism?
I don't practice Buddhism as much as I should, I guess, but I do. I have gotten more into meditation. I do meditate a lot. I would say I'm more spiritual. I mean, I've been spiritual as a child. Like I used to see auras.
You've always been spiritual. Like you've always
yeah. I've always been the metaphysical one, the weird one. You know what I mean? So it's just through life and circumstances and stuff, it kind of like muted itself or was kind of like in the background. And after this journey happened, everything kind of opened up. So, my clairvoyance opened up, you know what I mean? My intuition opened up, like, so I'm really, really, I don't know. I feel like the things I've gone through in my life, I've healed myself from. I'm on the other side of happiness, and I know that I can help share that with people. So that's why I say Kisa the Healer.
How many times do you meditate a day?
I would normally in the morning and at night, twice.
It's something that I want to incorporate into because I'm a teacher and I want to incorporate that because, like you said, there's so many positive things into meditation. And I talked to my sister. She's really spiritual, and
which sister?
Tony. She loves essential oils. She's a biology major, and so but I was talk to her. I was like, because I deal with high school students,
right?
Girl, I tell I be like, they don't want to listen to you at all. But I was thinking, like, at the beginning of the class, and I thought it's something they might be into because maybe they can go to sleep or something. I don't know if they ain't gonna meditate.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep because they be asleep anyway. Or they can meditate. But like
what did you say, Brittany?
I said going to sleep. Come on, Shane. They ain't high school.
Right.
Girl, I promise you, they will be asleep in class. But I was thinking, like, do like the first like 5 or 10 minutes of class where we meditate about, how our life is, think positively about what's going on in our lives, and then the last 10 minutes think about how we are going to be a good citizens and how we can change, just clear our minds and just have a good day.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yes.
So that's something I want to start doing, like
Do you
every
think the
single
school
day.
system
That would
will
be
allow that
awesome.
for you to do that?
I'm not sure because I'm not, pushing a religion or anything.
It's
I'm just,
mindfulness time.
I don't think meditating within the classroom. I don't think that's a bad idea.
because
Like,
normally, yeah,
it's
because
not religion or nothing like that. It's like positive thinking and like clearing your mind and like
because really when you meditate, you're not supposed to think about anything. You're just supposed to just be like focusing on your breathing.
You know
really.
what? I
Well,
can't
no,
focus when
no.
I'm meditating.
No.
I think about stuff.
Listen. So I'll help you out.
I can.
I'll help you out.
Okay.
So basically, when you meditate, if there's something that you really want, like you really want, to have a
Peace.
successful podcast, right?
Right.
And you want peace. So when you close your eyes, right, and you're taking deep breaths, 4 count in, 6 count out, it's 4 count in and it's 6 count out. Visualize your successful podcast.
Okay, what it looks like.
Visualize what it looks like, who's there, where you want to go. Do you want to travel? Do you want to be in California? Do you want people from all over the world to come here for an interview? What is it that you want this to be?
Right.
You don't just meditate about nothing. You can't. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Like we have, human beings, we have 77,000 thoughts a day. 77,000 thoughts.
I think
like,
I have 70 million.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, what can I take if I can't close my eyes and not think about anything, which is close to impossible, which is the reason why a lot of people don't meditate.
Right.
Think about something that you want. If you want a loving relationship, close your eyes. Visualizing your man hugging you and kissing on you and loving on you. You know what I'm saying? Imagine him, being the man that you want him to be. Visualize, use meditation for you. Because if you take a thought and you believe thoughts become reality, then imagine taking some time and really focusing on that thing,
right.
what it's going to create.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have you read Russell Simmons' book, Success Through Silence or something? It's a meditation book. I read it, and it was basically teaching people how to meditate, and you could say,
Is that one of the stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he does it like 3 or 4 times a day.
I think about other stuff until I fall asleep, and I'm
Yeah,
like, wake up like, hold on.
Think about what you want.
Because you're so relaxed.
Think about what you want to create. And
Yeah, I remember Ashley said that. You remember when Ashley was on before, and she was talking about how when you meditate, it's okay to go to sleep because that means you're at peace.
I guess.
Yeah.
I have a question for Kisa though.
I'm sorry.
I've started smudging, like burning sage in my house, and like I do it like in the morning before I go to work, like when I come home. Do you smudge at all?
I do.
All the time.
I do.
Okay.
Now, is this what do you smudge with? Palo Santo or sage only?
Sage. I got some white sage bundles from like the health food store.
Okay. So that's good. It's good to smudge, especially like around your body, especially like a bubble, because this kind of protects you and makes sure you're good throughout the day. But it does help alleviate negativity in your area. But it's really a soft, type of, like, if someone was to punch you and they just like gave you a love tap, that's what sage is. Now you need to get some Palo Santo. which is like the
Palo
wood.
Santo.
Yes.
Palo
Okay.
Santo. I've never heard that.
Where can I get that from?
You can get it from Dancing Moon. They have one in Raleigh. Any metaphysical store, you can go online on Amazon and order it.
I forgot what it said. What was it again?
Palo Santo.
Yeah, it's
I need to write it down.
PALOSANTO. And this is like if you're around people a lot.
Oh God, I need that.
Oh yeah, I
Palo
need that for my
Santo,
job.
yeah, Palo Santo clears any negative energies that are like still attached to you from the day. Like, sage is gonna kind of brush it away. And if a person was strong enough, they can probably possibly still be attached to you. Like Palo Santo clears
Is it
energy.
oil?
It's a sacred wood. And like
wood.
you light it and
And you burn it like
you burn it around your body, you burn it around your house. Like, if there's any negative energy lingering, like the smoke will be dark. And
That's
can
crazy.
we do that and record it one day?
Yeah, like it's good.
I'm curious.
And as you start to, burn it, it clears. It clears any negative energy, and it's needed. Period.
That's crazy. You know what's so funny, right? So I had this guy that my husband knows. He came to the house to fix my phone, and he was like, "Well, I have my child's mother with me. Like, she want to come everywhere with me." Like, he was like kind of like low key throwing shade at her. I guess like 'cause she wanted to go with him. I guess she thought that he was like coming to, I don't know what she thought, but she must have thought something because she wanted to tag along. So anyway, long story short, she walks in with him. She walks in like shortly after, and I had just got off. I literally just got off of work. So as soon as I came home, I took my shoes off, lit some candles, and I lit the sage or whatever. I was like, I had a long rough day. Let me go ahead and get in my mood. So Shorty comes in the crib and he was like, "Yeah, this is my child's mother," and like he's like, he basically introducing like me, my husband, and the kids. Now, mind you, I just got off of work. The kids eating dinner. My husband is loading the dishwasher. I'm putting dishes away, like just to, get my night started. So Shorty comes in that crib. She sits down, not even for a whole 5 minutes. Not even a whole 5 minutes. I was going off. I was like, yo, because I know he be talking about her like they just had a baby, and I guess like maybe she was going like the postpartum. Like, I'm a female. I was like, man, I understand. Like, if she a little crazy acting, I get it.
Right.
But I was
the
going to offer her
hormones.
some wine. I was going to offer her some wine. I was going to compliment her on her earrings. But she didn't stay long enough. Like, Shorty legit sat in my living room for like 2 minutes and got up and bounced. So I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, first of all, it's kind of rude because, you just came in my crib. I don't even know you. And I offered you to come in. But it's like, how you just going up and leave and not say nothing? I was like, then her.
Hold on, she just got up and left without saying nothing?
She got up and left.
It was that sage girl.
Right?
It was just that, right. Her baby daddy was like, yo, it's that sage. Got them badass bobs up out of here. Like, it was just funny to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, dang, like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Maybe Shorty felt stupid. Maybe she thought that he was coming to fix a chick phone or something, and she thought something was going on. But when she walked in, it was like a whole family. Like, we was like legit a family. Like, I don't know what the hell. Maybe Shorty felt stupid. And I was like, maybe it was a stage. I don't know. But I was like, listen, it is what it is. Like, I don't need that energy in my crib anyway. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I just didn't want to be rude and have Shorty sitting outside in the car,
Right.
It was just funny. But I'm definitely gonna get that wood though. I need all of that.
Yeah, it's great. It really is.
It's called Palo Santo wood.
Yeah, Palo Santo.
Yeah, I know. I wrote it down. Dancing Moon in Raleigh. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
It was funny. I was like first introduced to sage and sage burning from like Native Americans, excuse me. We'll go to powwows and I think it's pretty cool, their culture and stuff. And that's where I bought my sage and my sage burner from. And it was about like 10 years ago too, so it's crazy. Like even Papa used to he used to pick on me and be like, "Yeah, you need birds of sage."
So the stuff you burn in your house when I come, is that like oil or those are the Santo or whatever?
Sage, you haven't been in my house in a while.
No, but when I used to come to what's his name's house?
It was just sage.
Okay. Yeah, her house used to smell good.
Because that sage. Get that negative energy out.
Yeah.
That energy ain't like
ladies,
me.
I gotta go. The boys' game's starting a few, so I'm about to head back in. But I'm sorry I had to miss you, Kisa.
It's
Hopefully
all
you can
good.
be back on again. and I could
Yes.
be in your presence
We
because
have some great
I'm enjoying it.
news to
But
tell you later.
yeah, I gotta catch their last game. But thanks for joining us on the podcast. I really appreciate you taking out time to join us.
No problem.
She'll see you soon.
Let's get into
All right.
it.
All right,
Talk
bye.
to y'all
Good
later.
luck.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
But yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Wow.
So, like, tell us more about life. Like, what else is going on with your life?
Wow. Well,
So, do you practice like giving advice to others?
I
or-
do. I guess, people are so closed-minded, and that's the part that irritates the crap out of me. You know what I mean? It irritates my soul. And, I'm going to just say this one thing. From the ages of 0 to 7, we're programmed. Our minds are programmed with the religion that we should be studying, the way that we look at money, the way that we look at love, the way that we, love a man and a woman is through our parents. You know what I'm saying? Like all of our experiences through that time is a program.
Right.
And these are the programs that we go into life believing, and not for 1 second just taking a second to say, maybe it's not what I've been taught.
Right.
Maybe there is something more vast and more bigger out here. You know what I mean? Maybe I am an infinite being of any possibility, and I'm not just nothingness.
Right.
It's needed. That I just wanted to say that basically. You know what I mean? To just open your mind, So, anyways,
With life.
yeah, when I was at work, they used to call me the Oracle. That was my nickname.
Oracle.
Yeah, because being able to tap into people, I feel like I tap into their soul. I'm able
feel their
to,
energy.
I can feel their energy and tell what a person really needs, like the truth, no matter how they are presenting themselves. I'm able to tap into that and help them. And so, I've been that person. I've been that person to be there to help friends. Can you get one of them too, girl?
Right.
Yeah. Yes, girl.
I do
Drinking it like water.
tarot. I do tarot. I don't look at it as being negative. I think if people look at it as a journey, we're all on a journey.
So, what is tarot? Like, can you explain that?
Yeah, tarot has been used for like hundreds and hundreds of years, and basically it's a tool. Like we all have a higher self. We all have a part of us that's more intelligent than what we're doing and what we're dealing with right now. And with the tarot, they're just cards, really. They're just cards, but it's your energy. It's what what you're feeling or what you need to know that's coming for your higher self through the cards. Like the cards, I mean, they're not, it's always you.
Right.
If I give you the cards and you say in your mind, hey, is my love life going to turn out okay? Am I going to get this job that I want, that I've been wanting for a long time? Is this going to happen? This going to happen? Like when you're shuffling the cards and I'm asking you to ask the questions that you want, you know what I mean? Thoughts hold frequency. Thoughts hold an energy. You know what I mean? And being that that you're shuffling these cards and that they may give you an answer, this is an activation. This is making it real. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever it is that you thinketh, manifest itself. You know what I mean? So
hold on, whatever you're thinking at the time you're shuffling?
No, just like whatever it is that you put your belief in is real. So if you don't believe the cards are going to work for you, and you don't believe that any of that hoopla, then it's not real. It's all upon what a person believes.
Right.
But do you think that, because I've had my cards read several times, but it's like, I get what you're saying.
Were they reputable?
Huh?
Were they reputable people? Or were
Both times I was in New Orleans, so I never know. I never know. You know what I'm saying? But like, it goes all back to positive or your affirmations and stuff. So if you see that card, that black card, and you're like, oh no, that's not for me. Or if you see it and you're like, oh my God, like, that's really going to happen? Like, I feel like, I'm trying to tell you, we can talk about this all day. But I'm just saying, like, if you believe in the cards, then yeah, it's gonna work. But if you
Yeah.
be like, man,
That's not. Yep.
then it's not gonna
It's
work.
not, because it's the thing about tarot is tarot isn't direct. Like, it doesn't mean that this very thing is going to happen, because life is ever changing. You know what I mean? We are, the beings of will.
Right.
We can make whatever decision that we want to make, and it will change the outcome of anything.
Mhm.
So it doesn't even matter. But what the tarot does is lets you know what's going on right now. What obstacles are you facing right now? Is it your mind? Are you having issues in your relationship? And then it gives you insight. Your higher self gives you insight to let you know what it is you can do to change it.
Okay, so it's almost like a preview, like
Right.
okay, for right now, the
Right. A
forecast.
snapshot. You know what I mean?
But you can change it tomorrow and it'll
Right.
be different.
It can be different, because the thing is that, when you're going through things, because people typically, when people want their cards read, they're going through something. So they want to see what's going to happen, what's going on, So with the intent that you have, like, you're going to get the answers based off of your energy. If you're worrying about something, that's what's going to come out, because basically the tarot cards are all about a fool's journey and us being the fool. Our intuition. Let's say the intuition would be like, I know we're getting off topic, but the intuition would be like, let's say the Queen of Cups, I guess, right? Let's say we take the Queen of Cups, like, that would be your emotions, right? So if that came out for you, that would be your emotions, because the cups represent the emotion. You know what I mean? If that come out with like something else, or another card is pulled, then you know that, hey, I'm going through something with my money. My emotions are all over the place because, I just lost my job, and you can't think clearly.
Right.
So when you can't think clearly, the cards allows you to be able to see things for what they are.
So you're trained in reading the cards, or like,
yeah,
or interpreting them, or
yeah. I read and interpret.
I need to get my card read one day.
Because I've done it like twice.
I've never done
both
it.
in New Orleans,
Curious.
and both times were just for fun. Like we were just walking. The first time I had it done, it was at night on the square, and my friend was like, "Hey, just get your cards read. Let's just do it." I was like, because I practice Christianity, and they say it's not okay to do that. And so I was like, I didn't want to do it, but at the same time, I ain't paid for it, and so I was like, all right, let's do it, And so the lady, she, looked kind of crazy. She looked like she was homeless. You know what I'm saying? Like a bag lady, and she read my cards, and she said some things. And again, I don't know where I was emotionally and financially.
Were
Well,
you
I know
drinking?
I was broke. I know I was broke, and I know I was probably drunk. But she said some things like in the cards where she was like, saying something about my finances was going to change and this and that, which they did. I mean, of course, I want my finances to change every year. I want it to go up. We want it to go up. But she said some things, and it made me think like, But then the second time I went with a friend, and we went to this place called the Bottom of the Teacup, because she Googled it and she wanted to go. And I was just going to be supportive, but I ended up getting my cards read too. And they recorded it. And I have the recording. I have to find the DVD. But after the reading, we had two different people. We both were like, yo, that was some bull crap. Because like they basically told us the same thing. Like, death is coming and this, like bad stuff. And I'm like, well,
that's so messed up.
I'm like, that's kind of like life. You didn't really tell me nothing I didn't already know.
They just tell you that so they can get you to buy a candle or something. Get you to buy a candle to undo the harm that's over your life, the black cloud.
That's true, because that was in a shop, and they had a whole lot of cool stuff. I mean, when I'm telling you, they probably had that. What was that wood called?
The Plato Santo.
Platos. They probably had some of that Plato Santos, but they had like crystals and candles and different things like that. But I felt like the lady on the square was more reputable and believable than the people in the shop.
Well, yeah, you have to be careful, because there are a lot of people out here who are perpetrating a fraud. You know what I mean? Like, everyone has the ability to be intuitive and to tap in. You just have to kind of center yourself and be on that frequency a lot to be able to get those messages. Like no one's special. Like people want to like act like they're special. As African Americans and Black women, we are connected anyway.
Right.
If you look at our roots, you know what I mean, through religion and stuff like that. Like it's just, I mean, it is what it is. It's just things that we've been taught. You know, we haven't been taught about, you know, hoodoo and the things that we come from. Like, that's where we come from. Like, I don't really know much about it. I really don't practice or anything like that. But I know that that's where our culture was cultivated. Like, that's who we are. You know, brews and potions. I mean, look at the stuff we create for our hair to grow. What is that but a potion?
Right.
Some lemongrass and some tea tree oil and some.
Remember the Monistat 7?
Yeah. Monistat 7 and put it into this
You
container.
told me about it. I ain't tried it yet, but I was thinking like, because I was in the hair store today.
She's the one who got me into it.
I was thinking about trying it.
You put it in a container, you shake it up, you apply it twice a day. Like it's a damn potion. You know
and one of my sister's friends, she said when she greets her scalp, what her mom told her to do was be like, you know, pray for each strand. I ain't never heard that before, but I was like, shoot, I'm about to try that.
Hold on. What?
She said pray
for each strand as you put the oils on.
Yes, you pray like, Lord, please let it grow. I want it to
grow.
Let it grow.
I'm good. I just cut my hair. So.
Speaking of hair, I'm liking my haircut.
It's cute. You make me want to cut my hair, girl.
But I want to go shorter.
Yes,
I told her to shave this side.
Did you have your hair shaved before?
When Isaiah was born.
Okay.
I had a shave one. Yeah, it's still natural. That's the only thing I'm scared about.
You should give me to cut it in that shape, like, you know what I mean, what the girls are getting, where it's kind of shorter on the sides and curly up top. And
that's what she want. That's what she wants. She wants her hair shorter.
But I want the mohawk still, like, because I told her I still want to, like, you know, longer in the middle. So she left it, like, you know, longer in the middle. But my head is so flat. Kisa, I tried calling you before, like, to get my haircut.
That was 7 years ago.
I know, but then you say you don't really like doing hair anymore.
I like doing that hair.
You like doing cuts, right? Yes. Just not weaving.
So what are you doing now? You're just reading tarot cards?
I'm a barber. I mean, I work at the barber shop.
You like that better than doing hair?
Yes.
That's still doing hair.
I mean, well, women's styles.
Yes, because men's hair, it doesn't take long. It's like 30, 45 minutes. They're in and out. You learn so much from the male point of view.
They be talking, does it?
Yeah. And I don't know. Like, I love working with men. Like, I think that, you know, they get to see certain things from a woman's point of view.
Right.
And, you know, I get to see.
Right.
That's why I always had male best friends. Like
me too.
I have a few female friends, and I just got those like as an adult. But like I'm trying to tell you, growing up, I probably had like 3 girlfriends, and then like a gang of guy best friends. Because I'll just chill with them, listen to them talk crazy about girls.
And you know what? Guys don't make you. Like, there's no drama, and they don't make you feel like
no competition.
You have to. Right, no competition. Yes. Oh, you can't be someone's friend because of such and such. It's annoying.
I went from all women's barbershop to all men. I'm the only woman there.
Are you serious?
Wow. The only one. It is the most amazing job. Like, I'm like, yes. No drama. No drama. I don't have to deal with that.
Was the chin girl, drama girl?
Oh my God.
Girl, she got my name. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. That was so silly.
I said Chin was coming. She said, what Chin? Chin. Did she work which Chin? Did she work at me? Like, no, she wasn't. That was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really glad that you're here.
Yeah. So do you have any well, you dropped a load of advice, like I'm like, you got your tarot cards with you?
Right.
Girl, I would have. I was thinking about bringing them. I was going to bring my sage and everything, but I was like, nah, maybe that might be a little too much. I don't want to kind of, you know. Like, hey,
I think there's all good energy in here.
Yes. It's what it's all about, man. It's all about being positive and having good energy, you know, consistently.
And I hate when people are so negative all the time about the same thing. Like, if you don't like something, change it. You know what I mean? Ooh, is that strong? If you don't like anything about your life, that's always what I've tried to tell people, even with some of my clients, just change it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be
Like,
honest
work
with
towards
you.
it.
Negativity drains me.
Me, right?
It drains, like, because on Wednesday, it was my first time giving state exams. Girl, I got home at 3 o'clock. I was asleep from like 3:15 until 7. I got up, got dinner, went back to sleep at 8, and I was like
You
knocked out.
drain.
It drains me. Like, I'm like, and people kind of like, it's either you hate me or you love me, you know, but to know me is to love me. But I'm like, people say I'm so nonchalant. They say I'm so laid back because I'm like, what's the point of being all worked up about stuff that you can't control,
Right,
you
like,
know?
it
And I
is.
really believe in like a higher power, positive energy, positive thoughts. Like, you know, I just think of like positivity and like, you know, visualizing your life the way
Yes,
you want
girl.
it.
Right.
Oh,
And
You
then
yes.
know?
people say to me that I'm too nice. That's by being positive.
Mm.
Yeah. So I don't understand that. Or I shouldn't be, with certain people because I'm too nice. But it's not about that. It's just I just want peace. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I just want positivity around me. I don't want, if there's negative, then I can push it away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just you're
Every,
strong.
yeah, every time I pray or like make a wish or something like that, I don't wish for money or nothing like that. I wish for peace. I wish for happiness. Like, for the longest, like, even as like, you know, a teenager, I would always say peace. Like, instead of saying bye, I'd be like
Right.
peace. I'd be like peace. And
Peace
one of my
out.
friends was like, "Dang, you really on that peace stuff, right?" And like, it was so crazy because me and him, we went to Atlanta and we went shopping. And he was like, "You can get anything you want." Girl, I went into BB. I couldn't find nothing except for a scarf, a silk scarf that had peace signs all over it.
Oh.
And he was like, "Dang, girl," you know. But that's what, like, I
Like a
mean,
hippie.
I've always been one. But it's
Yeah.
like I have so many stories where, like, you know, I just like thought something or just been positive and just concentrated on that, and then like a year, maybe 6 months later, even, yeah, it happens. Like, maybe even not even that, like, that long, it just happens. So I'm like, dang, it's scary, you know what I'm
Yeah, I mean,
saying?
but it's all innately a part of who you are. That's what you.
Right.
That's who you are. You know. I mean, a lot of people don't think about what they're reading. I mean, if it says that God made man in His own image, right, and you think about what God did, He spoke things into existence until they happened.
Right.
Then He turned around and made man in His own image. Like, you have the ability to speak anything into existence. It's just you have to be wary of the mind, of the ego mind, that's going to make you doubt and have fear. You know, those are lower vibrational energies: doubt, fear, hatred, jealousy. You know what I mean? That's on a frequency of its own. Like, you can't manifest and get anything if you're feeling that.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you've been kind of just blocking people and you've just been like in your own zone and in your own lane and just having positivity around you, that's a frequency. Positivity exists on a certain frequency because when you're positive, you don't deal with all the negativity that people are dealing with. Do you? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
I know
your friends
exactly
will
what
come
you
to
mean.
you and they'll be like, this is going on, that's going on, this is going. I mean, it's a
Right.
whole different reality for them.
Right.
That's
Right.
not your reality anymore.
Right.
So it's just kind of like,
Wow.
you know,
I
you're.
love what you just said because, wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's another
No,
thing, like,
you said that because, wow, I cannot believe you just said that because I was thinking about that. Because it wasn't that I don't care. It was just like, I'm just like really? Okay, this again. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't want to, sometimes I feel bad because I'm like, okay, I know this person is going through whatever they're going through, but I'm not, because I'm not there. It doesn't mean I don't understand or want to help, but I just like, man, like, can you just change it?
Yeah,
You
like
know
you
what I mean?
can't,
Like,
you can't heal
don't
everybody.
stay there. You know what I mean?
you give them
Like,
advice on, like, ways they could change it?
I do, but I
they
feel
don't do
like
it.
right. I feel
Mhm.
like okay, just say, well, you're just so positive, or you just want to
Right,
be
but
like,
see, that's the thing is, how can you tell a person you just so positive? What's that saying about
right,
you?
I know,
that you're
right? You sound
negative.
crazy.
You know,
Exactly.
like, oh, me being positive is a bad
Right,
thing? Like, nah. Like,
exactly.
you cannot exist in my space. If you don't have, if you don't have your mind in the right place, you don't love yourself, you have issues,
Wow.
I don't want you around me.
Exactly.
I don't need your
Wow.
negative energy even in my space because I'm trying to go somewhere. And I'm trying to fly.
Amen.
Exactly.
And if you can't exist next to me, then vamoosh. I mean,
Vamoosh,
seriously.
right.
You know what I mean, I've lost friends. I know what that's
I
like.
did.
Oh my God.
And it's like, where did that come from when I was vibrating with you doing crazy stuff and
Doing
not loving
bad.
myself? Then it was like we was the best of friends. But when I started elevating and I started, start cutting people off and letting things go and people start noticing my lifestyle's changing, like, dang, Keith's like, then it becomes hate.
Right.
Like, I had never dealt with that in my life. Like, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, the people you break bread with, be the ones hating on you.
I know the feeling.
You know what I'm saying? The
sad.
watchers. That's what I
Right.
call them.
They
You know what I'm
wait and
saying?
watch
They watch what you're doing.
to see. Yeah, right.
I
to
said
see
that in
what
my
you're
video.
doing.
Yeah, they watch what you're doing. They want to watch and see how far you're going to go and be there to kind of throw
And
those little negative...
waiting for you to like
Downfall.
right to
Yeah.
fall
We'll
down.
throw those
That's why
little
I
negative
don't. That's why
plugs
I
in
used to
there.
like post on social media so much, but now I don't even post anymore because
Right.
I don't
Right,
want
what's the
people
point?
to know
Yeah, because...
what's going
Right. Well, what's
on.
going on with your life? Or if you post and you say, oh, you're happy and all that stuff, like
Because people's
there's
thoughts are powerful.
Right. Right.
Just because they looking at it on the phone, if they thinking negative about you, that's still going to affect you. You know? Like, I made a lot of changes, man. I don't even know who that girl was. I don't even know who the old
I could see it.
2016, 17 girl is. I don't know who she is.
Right.
I'm like, I feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
You know?
But you would have never thought like you wouldn't, because you put up such a good front.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm never... Yes, absolutely.
Like she's smiling, like nothing's happening, or
I've always been like that.
yeah.
Even as a child. And I'm going to tell you, like, I think it come from this, to be honest with you. When I was younger and things happened in my family, it was always like, don't say nothing. Don't tell nobody what goes on in this house. Don't say anything. So, when things happen and traumatic things happen, you don't open your mouth about that. You don't want people thinking this and this and this. So growing up, I just think that was just a natural reaction for me. That things may be going on, but no one needs to know.
Right.
That, and also that, if you've been in a failed relationship and you get into another relationship that's failing, you don't want people to know that.
Right. That's true.
You don't want them to know it's failing, that you done made another dumb mistake. Like, so you'll just keep up the facade, and deal with it. It's nobody else's business. You'll tell yourself.
Yeah, hopefully you could come back. Well, we hope you come back and tell us more about that part. That part. But yeah,
I
okay.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, we did.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Do you have anything like you want to share with the listeners before you leave? Like,
How can they follow you, find you, get in contact with you?
You can find me on Kisa at
Kisa.
Kisa The Healer on Facebook. I have a page. I drop videos. I have videos on 10 signs that you're an empath. And 10 signs that you're on a spiritual journey, and the things that you may notice now that you didn't notice before. I'm trying to kind of usher in a new awareness and a new consciousness for those who are going through this journey that need help. So on my platforms, I'm Kisa the Healer, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So, and you can set an appointment if you want your cards read. If you need some life coaching, if you need some help or assistance, I'm here. Everyone needs a little help, and that was a big issue for me. It was hard for me to ask for help because I felt like I was strong enough to deal with it on my own, everything, and sometimes we need help.
Yep, that's something that we need to talk about too. 'Cause we talked about that in season 1 about asking for help.
It's hard.
Like people are, I don't, no, I don't want nobody's help. I don't need help. But how would they know you need something if you don't ask for help? You know what I mean? Like how would they help you if you don't ask for help?
I mean, it's just the
Like,
black
we all need
stereotype.
help.
It's how we are. Like, you don't need help. Stick your chest out. Da 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 da. Brush
You
yourself
got it.
off. You got it.
Right.
You know, so we're taught from a very young age that we don't need help. You
I
know,
know I need help. I need
So-
all the help I can get.
it's just crazy. Like, a lot of our dreams are going to come true. A lot of our manifestations are going to happen. You know, and it's great to be around people, like-minded people, and sharing a great space with good spirits and good energy.
And keep you encouraged.
Yeah, to keep you encouraged and want to see you do great and want to see you do better. But one thing I do have to say is that the spiritual journey, a lot of people, make it, glorify it and make it look like it's a fad, but it's not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. You know, this journey is really breaking down every part of you, who you thought you were, and dissecting it and healing it, and then becoming the person that you are. You know, it's not easy.
Nope, it really is.
It's not easy, but it's great. The feeling is amazing once you do it. It's amazing.
That's where the after come in.
Yes.
When you're in a better place.
Yes, you're in a
you
great
feel
place.
like just when you're at peace, just everything just falls into place.
You experience
You
heaven
don't
on
worry
earth.
about nothing else. You don't care about, I mean, not care, but you feel good about yourself. Like, you don't worry about what anybody else is thinking.
Right.
You just do it. Like I was telling you earlier, when I first decided to share the episode 12 on the first season, like I just got to the point where I didn't care what anybody thinks, you know? And it was just like there for people to hear. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We all get there. We all have to get there sometimes.
It takes courage, though.
It takes a lot of courage.
Strength.
It's just looking in the mirror and saying enough is enough. I'm tired.
Right.
Because, it's no point in complaining about all these things you're going through if you're not going to take the step to love yourself enough to change it.
Yeah.
Like, stop talking.
That's insanity.
You know what I mean? Stop talking. I'm tired of being here. I'm tired of, I'm guilty, like tired of, but you just have to stop talking and start acting.
Right.
You're like a lion.
I don't know. I don't know about the lying part, but I don't think you're lying because it's the truth. Oh, that's what you're talking about?
No.
You feel like
I was going to bring some too, but I was like, ugh.
No. You need some line. I'll bring some next time. Yeah, we're recording next week. Right.
Every week.
But yeah. Okay, so this concludes this episode. We're so excited for Kisa to be here and share.
Thank you.
And she'll come back.
Yes.
So do y'all have to end with positive quotes?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll leave the Love Life After one just for today. Just remember there's life after all. So no matter what it is that you're going through, just at the end of the tunnel, there's always light. So just always remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had one. I just did that because I posted it on my social media too because I was like, oh my God, I felt it. I hope you find someone who sees your flaws but still treats you like you're perfect. R.H.
R.H. You have one? You have a quote?
I don't know. She made me about want to get a quote. You know what I mean? Like.
Okay, while we're waiting on Kisa to find her quote real quick, just remember that there's life after all. Follow us on social media at love.lifeafter on Twitter, Facebook, and our email is lovelifeafter18@gmail.com. And please just share, subscribe, let us know what you think, and just come back and listen every week.
Yeah, comment, send us emails,
Yes,
we read them.
yes.
We lit.
We love to
Yeah.
read your email. We love all your feedbacks and all your the positives and the negatives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and
but
just let
yeah,
us know if y'all want to be guests as well. We can set something up, you know.
Yeah. Okay, Kisa, you got your cup?
Yes.
Okay.
Real growth is when you start checking and correcting yourself instead of blaming others. You take your power back by being responsible for your life.
Amen. Who's that by?
Spiritual
Spiritual
gangster.
gangster.
Instagram. Flat
No.
out.
All right, guys.
Thank you
Remember
for
to love
listening.
life after. Thank you for listening. That's not working. I didn't even
Yes.
take that. Yay.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Hopefully
And then we.
Addicted to a black queen, baby, you're my coat. She got me feeling like a dope fiend. I'm addicted to a black queen.